Hello, and welcome to today's live reading of Reticent Hawke by Gwen McNamee, presented by Itsy Bitsy Book Bits. Chapter 1, Jude. Small, soft hands blaze a fiery trail over my collarbone, across my chest, light fingertips searing my skin everywhere they make contact, moving lower, feathering along each ridge of my clenched abs toward the one place I've always wanted her. I release a deep groan and shift closer to her, relishing her tender, intimate touch, the only one I've ever craved. Jude. My hard cock twitches at that sensual voice, whispering my name in my ear with so much love and desire. Something I never thought I'd hear from her perfect lips. Something I didn't think was possible. I angle my body toward her again, desperate for more, for everything from her. She presses her lips to mine greedily and devours my mouth, her hunger matching my own, raw, carnal, necessary. The familiar scent of cinnamon and coffee she always carries with her permeates every breath I take, and my mouth waters to taste her. My fingers itch to touch her the same way she does to me. To explore and revel in the feel of her smooth skin responding to what I can do to her. Touch her, Jude. That's all I want, all I've ever wanted. Jude, she wouldn't be doing this if she knew. That other voice tries to break through, the same one that always ruins these moments, that always shatters the calm and bliss I feel in her arms, but I block it out, concentrating on her loving fingers, trailing over my abs and toward my aching cock. I reach out and grab her wide, soft hips, digging my fingers into the flesh to drag her up against me, my length crushed between us, rubbing against her soft, sweat-flicked skin. She moans into my mouth, her frantic hands sliding between us to stroke me. I reach out. God, yes. My whispered words are a benediction, a prayer to my own personal saint, because she is my savior, the only one who has ever been able to do this to me, the only one who can drag me from the dark depths of my personal hell and out into the light. The only one I'll ever want to. Jude. My name comes more forcefully this time, her voice laced with a frantic need that stirs something deep inside me to give her everything she gives me. A task I fear may be impossible. Jude, please. She doesn't need to beg me, doesn't need to do anything but look at me for me to be desperate to give her anything she ever wants. Jude! Another voice yelling my name jerks me from the dream before it can turn into the nightmare it always does, before the soft, tender touches become rough, aggressive, and demanding. The heavy metal locked door slams shut, reverberating through the open space and cutting through the fog still clouding my brain. Jude, where are you? Fuck, Allie. I release my throbbing cock, grab the covers, and tug them over my nude body so she won't see the raging hard-on. Shoving my hand through my hair, I prop myself up on my elbows and try to appear like she didn't just interrupt me having a wet dream like a fucking teenager. She flings open the bedroom door, two to-go coffee cups balanced precariously in one hand, and raises a dark brow at me, her blue hawk eyes narrowing on my current state. What the hell? You're still in bed? I groan and drop back onto the pillow, keeping an eye on her to try to gauge if she has any idea what she almost walked in on. What time is it? Too fucking early. She scowls and glances toward the nightstand, which I could have easily done myself if I weren't so distracted by my aching cock that I can do nothing about now. It's 7:30 already. What? I blink away the last remnants of my dream, trying to breathe normally to slow my heart thundering against my ribcage. What are you doing here so late? Her focus darts away for a moment toward the shuttered bedroom window she can't see out of anyway. Odd. She returns her gaze to me, her lips twisting slightly. I got a late start this morning. The longer I watch her, the more she fidgets, shifting from foot to foot. A little muscle near her mouth on the right side twitching the same way it always does when she's lying to me. What the hell are you up to, Allie? She takes the few steps to the bed and climbs onto it, settling in next to me against the headboard and handing me the coffee while scanning me from the top of my head over my bare chest to where the comforter settles over my abdomen. Late night last night? I nod and scrub my hand over the day's worth of stubble on my face. Yeah. She waggles her eyebrows. Who with? Another hottie from Tinder or Rosalie? I chuckle and elbow her playfully. Wouldn't you like to know? She pouts and takes a sip of her coffee. I would, but you never share any of your sexcapades with me. Maybe that's because I never have any. Though she'll never know that. Letting her believe I spend the nights we're not hanging out together, banging random chicks I met on apps is a lot better than her knowing the truth. A lot better than anyone knowing it. I take a sip of the coffee and swallow the magnificently scalding hot liquid. Almost immediately, the caffeine coursing through my system helps erase the last lingering fragments of the dream. If Allie had come in here a minute later, it would have been too late, and she would have received a very interesting morning wake up. Jude, she waits for me to turn my head toward her. Why do you look so out of it this morning? The chances of me admitting the reason behind my unusual behavior are slim to none, and I'm a much better liar than Allie thinks I am. Nothing. I'm fine. Her dark brow wings up. Are you, though? Your cheeks are flushed, and you look like you were just going at it with somebody. Only in my fucking hand. She glances toward the partially closed bathroom door and her jaw drops. Oh my God. Is someone here? Did I walk in on? I hold up a hand to stop her because she'll go off on a tangent that I have no intention of traveling with her if I don't nip this in the bud pronto. No, just a long night, like you said. I can't believe I slept in so late. I elbow her side. Where were you last night anyway? It isn't like Allie to bail on a movie night, especially without telling me she wasn't going to show up. But her disappearances as of late suggest a new beau, one she doesn't want any of us to know about. Not unusual for her to keep her personal life private from the Hawks, but not from me. She must really like this guy. Allie averts her gaze again and picks at the edge of the coffee cup like it's suddenly the most interesting thing in the world. Out. Evasive much? Out where? One of her slender shoulders rises and falls, just out with some of the girls in the bywater. I take a sip of my coffee and try to appear disinterested. Your sister? Allie snorts and shakes her head. Hell no. I couldn't get Angelina to go out and do anything fun if her life depended on it. She gives me a pointed look. And now she's fucking pissed at me for coming in so late this morning and then immediately running over here to bring this to you. I smirk, picturing Angelina's soft skin flaming in her anger with her sister. Well, tell her I'll leave a bigger tip next time. Allie's elbow hits me in the ribs and she chuckles. You haven't paid for a drink once since Angelina opened the place. I don't think she'll believe you're going to start now, let alone tipping. I groan and drop my head back against the headboard, letting my eyes drift closed, the draw of the incredible dream making me want to crawl under the covers completely and fall back asleep instead of chugging this drink to get wired and start my day. I feel bad about that, and I'm going to keep offering even though you both keep saying no. The tisking noise fills my ears and Allie shifts beside me. I am not going to let you pay for your drinks, Jude, your family. I cringe at her words, the guilt automatically carving away at my chest from the inside out. To most people, being considered a hawk, even if not by blood, would be a good thing. It would mean acceptance into one of the most prominent families in New Orleans. Money and power, prestige, anything you could possibly want at your fingertips. But being a hawk has its drawbacks, one very big one in particular. I incline my head toward the cafe across the street. Shouldn't you get going before your sister tears you a new one? Her phone buzzes in her back pocket, vibrating against the mattress, and she lifts her ass to reach back and grab it, then stares at it, scowling. Perfect timing as always. She flips the phone toward me so I can read it. Ange, where the hell are you? Give him his coffee and get back here. We're busy. Allie rolls her eyes and shoves her phone back into her pocket as she scoots off the end of the bed. You better appreciate how much I love you, that I'll take that kind of attitude from her just to bring you your coffee fix every morning. I lay my hand against my bare chest, directly over my heart. You're a true hero. Yeah, she waves me off. You just writing today? I chuckle and run my hand through my hair to get it out of my eyes. Do I ever do anything else? She stops at the door and looks at me for a moment, her eyes softening as if she wants to ask me about something or make a comment, but she doesn't. I don't know what it is you do all day, to be honest. You won't let me read anything you write, not even before you submitted it to that publisher. I squeeze my eyes closed and shake my head. I'm sorry, Al. I just can't. I feel Jesus, what's the right word? Embarrassed, angry, panicked, deceptive? Because you're trying to hide from her what you know she would see if she read what you're currently writing, what you haven't been able to get out of your head until you finally started writing it down, the thing you never thought you'd put on paper. Maybe one day. Of course, nothing prevents her from picking up my first book and reading it at any time, except my request that she doesn't. The same request I made of all the Hawks. She scowls and takes a sip of her coffee, then points an accusatory finger at me. That sounds like a cop out, buddy. But one of these days, you're going to leave that computer open and I'm going to dig right in and email myself a copy of whatever it is you're working on. That would be theft. She smirks. So sue me. I'm sure Isaac would love to represent me on a frivolous case like that. I bark out a laugh, and I'm sure Stone would love to beat Isaac's ass on my behalf. Her lips twitch again, but her smile falters quickly. You sure you're okay? Have I been? A huge part of me, the part that has always seen Allie as my other half, no different than if we had been in the same womb and shared our parents, wants to come clean with her, wants to unload everything I've been carrying around on my shoulders for the last few years. But the bigger part, the part that was always called weak, that fear of the repercussions of failing, refuses to let anyone see that, to know what lives and breathes inside of me. I force a smile. I'm good. You just gave me blue balls, but it's least of my problems. Okay, I'll call you later. Her brows rise. Are we hanging out tonight? Yeah, unless you ditch me again. Guilt finally appears in her blue gaze. Yeah, sorry about that. Really, I meant to text you, but got caught up with. She stops herself. Anyway, I'll see you later. She takes a step toward the front door, then turns back. And hey, if you're that tired, whatever you're working on must be really good. I'm sure. Sorry if I interrupted one of your sessions or something. I went. One of my sessions. She meant brainstorming and writing, not stroking my cock while I dreamed about the one woman in the world I can never have. I wait until the sound of the heavy exterior door slamming closed hits my ears before I release a disgruntled groan. Take another sip of my drink and climb from the bed. My semi-hard cock still aches between my legs, and I step into the bathroom and glance at myself in the mirror. Al was right. My disheveled blonde hair falls over my eyes. Pink still highlights my cheeks. It certainly looks like someone who was just getting it on. Hell. The simple thought of the dream makes my cock stir fully to life again, and I take it in my hand and wince. Don't do it, Jude. It's the same thing I tell myself every time, but I know I will, despite knowing how wrong it is, because it's an addiction. One I acquired the moment I saw her 15 years ago. That's only grown stronger as I've spent more time with her, seen who she really is at her core, watched her pain and drive, and witnessed how deeply she cares for everyone around her and protects them. She's an addiction I'll never shake, no matter how many reasons there might be to try. I make my way out of the bedroom into the main loft space and slowly inch toward the window overlooking the street, standing in the shadowed corner so no one can see me, but I can see her. Shining thick dark hair spills down over her shoulders, bouncing and swinging with each step she takes. Perfect pink lips turn up into a genuine smile for every customer. Her ass sways almost rhythmically as she walks around Hawke's daily grind, her curves shown off in the skin-tight jeans and white t-shirt with a plunging neckline. Fuck. I stroke my cock a few times, and that's all it takes for the low tingle to start at the base of my spine. It's always the same, every day, watching, knowing I can never have her, can never touch her, wanting. I have to turn away before my orgasm, filled with relief, frustration, and guilt, finally hits me. Angelina. The bells above the door jingle over me, and I step out into the early morning light, balancing the tray with a coffee and a breakfast sandwich on it. I use my free hand to block the sun from my eyes and step over to the small bistro table where Damon sits, reading his usual morning paper. Here you go, Damon. Sorry about the delay. I force a tight smile at the handsome older man with silver hair. I'm here alone this morning. He glances up and his lips curl into a warm grin. No problem at all. Where's your sister today? I fight the desire to unleash my anger toward her at one of my best customers, running late, apparently. Though I wouldn't fucking know since she ran in, made their drinks while I was with a customer, and then failed again. The same annoyance I felt all morning tightens my skin, and I set down his drink and sandwich, itching to get back to the other customers who need attention inside since I'm juggling everything by myself. But I never let customers see that. I can't, no matter how annoyed I may be at Allie. Anything else I can get for you? No, thank you, and I do hope your day gets better. It's impossible not to return a genuine smile at his kind words. Since he started coming around the grind over the last few months, he's always been one of the nicest customers and most loyal. Every day without fail at 7:30, this is his spot. The kind of customer who keeps Hawk's daily grind thriving. That isn't anything to complain about, and it's precisely what I've always wanted. If I don't drop dead from sheer exhaustion. Me too, because I could fucking use a break. Which I will never get if Allie doesn't tear herself away from Jude long enough for her to do her damn job. I look up at the window, and there aren't any signs of them. The door across the street that leads to the stairs up to Jude's loft opens, and Allie steps out. Noah's buried in her phone, as always. She makes it to the curb, then glances up and down the street for traffic before she bolts across it, avoiding eye contact with me. She hits the curb on our side of the street and waves to Damon. Morning, Damon. Damon nods at her. Morning, Alessandra. Her name rolls off his tongue with a perfect Italian accent, something he usually manages to hide. He gives me a knowing grin as I head into the cafe, hot on her heels, empty tray in hand. Where the hell have you been? I do my best to whisper, but several of the customers sitting at the tables just inside the door look our way. Shit. Forcing a smile at them, I follow her to the kitchen at the back. As soon as the swinging door closes behind us, I grab her arm and turn her to face me. Seriously, you can't stay at Jude's condo all night, not even come home in the morning, then show up here, grab his drink, and go right back to him an hour and a half after you're supposed to be here at work. Allie cringes slightly, then shakes her arm free. I'm sorry, all right, I just overslept. I narrow my eyes at her. The little twitch at the corner of her mouth gives away her lie. She's been telling a lot of them lately. But with Allie, you never really can tell what the hell is going on. The girl lives and loves recklessly and hard. That's one of her best qualities, but it also gets her into trouble more often than not. That's what makes the situation so impossible. I shove the empty tray at her. Get to work. A bunch of tables need to be bussed, and I'm busy as hell at the counter. I need you here at 6 every morning unless you'd rather come in at 4:30 like I do to bake. She offers me an annoyed glance, setting her purse on the small desk I keep as an office in the corner of the kitchen. You know I can't bake. You damn well can bake. Nana and Mom taught both of us the same damn thing, so don't pretend you don't know how. You just don't want to. She scowls, but before we can get into the same old argument about her role here or her unwillingness to use the skills she's been taught, I duck back out into the main space to keep an eye on the customers.